What is your wildest take?
It's crazy.
I came in hot.
I hope it doesn't happen.
I'm marking that one down.
Yeah.
He doesn't mind the odd collision.
He could even win a race this season.
That is a wild take. When we need a hot take, we got to reach out to Smarth Canal from the race. You're always good with your hot takes, Smarth. So,
I love a hot take.
Coming into the 2026 F1 season, what is your wildest take?
Okay, look, I'm cringing already, but Esteban Ocon is going to have the same amount of podiums as Kimi Antonelli going into the 7th round of the season. Let's go for that. And go on, ask me.
No, okay, I have to ask why, because look, the Haas looks competitive. Ayo Komatsu has expressed some concerns over Esteban so far coming into the start of this season. You think this is going to be a bounce back season for him and he's just going to be scoring podiums all over the place?
Well, not all over the place, but I have faith in Ocon. I think he's a smooth operator, not like Carlos, but he's a smooth operator. And I think that those Ferrari starts are going to make a difference in the first few races. We're going to see him rocket ahead of the Mercedes. And you know what? I've died on this hill, so let's just keep going. And I'm going to stick to that. Yeah. And so, look, Antonelli's going to be strong, but I think, you know, if Ferrari have that power early on, why not?
Smarth Canal, thank you so much. That is a hot take. We appreciate your time. Joined by Julianne Sarasoli, Brazilian F1 reporter. Okay, Julianne, heading into the 2026 F1 season, what's your wildest take?
I never thought in my lifetime that I was going to say that this is wild, but I'm going to say Lewis Hamilton is going to win a race.
Okay, I'm marking that one down.
Yeah.
Okay, why? You got to take me through this process.
Yeah, no, it's crazy that after last year, many people thought maybe he's never going to win a race ever again. What we've been seeing with Ferrari, they're not in front, they're not the best team, they don't have the best PU, they have the best start so far, but we don't know for how long this is going to be like that. But overall, it's a good package, and I think there will be some tracks in which they will do well.
That is a wild take to start your 2026 F1 season. All right, let's bring in Nate Saunders from ESPN. Nate, what is your wildest take heading into the 2026 F1 season?
Wildest take, and I have to caveat this by saying I hope it doesn't happen. But I think things are so bad at Aston right now, I think we could see mid of the year, Fernando Alonso just get out of the car one final time and say I'm done. Not finishing the season, get me out of here. He's done it before with Honda, he knows what this is, and he's too good to be doing that. So I hope it doesn't happen, but if you're asking me for the wildest thing I can think, that would be it. Tim asked me in the car, wildest take possible, Nate, and hopefully I delivered that.
You definitely delivered, because you're definitely getting moved to the top of the leaderboard when it comes to wildest takes. Nate Saunders, thank you so much. Let's bring in Luke Smith from The Athletic. Luke, we're doing wildest takes for the 2026 F1 season. What is your wildest take heading in to the 2026 F1 season?
So I don't know if it's particularly wild, given how good the car is, but I think given history, it is going to actually be quite wild. And that is that Isack Hadjar is finally going to break the cycle of the second Red Bull driver struggling in that seat. I think he's going to be on the podium regularly this season. He could even win a race this season. I just think that the fact that these regulations are changing right at the right time for him to be coming into that car, I think he's got a good chance this year of breaking that cycle. So that is my wild take for this season.
Luke, that is a wild take. It may not rival Nate Saunders.
Oh, really?
He's at the top right now,
Okay.
but you're a close second.
Okay, what did Nate go for?
Oh, Fernando Alonso quitting halfway through the season.
Okay.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
He really went for it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's bring in Molly Hudson from The Times. Molly, we're doing the wildest takes here heading into the F1 season. I need to know, what is your wildest take heading into the 2026 F1 season?
My wild take is that Yuki Tsunoda, who just left the grid, was the only one last season to leave the grid, is going to be back before the season is out. And I think, well, I have reasoning here. I think, firstly, his relationship with Honda, given the way Aston Martin seem to have started here at testing, it's not gone too well. It could be a very long, tricky season. So that's one potential option. Franco Colapinto already seems like he's under a little bit of pressure. And Ayao Kabatsu has already kind of put the pressure on Esteban Ocon to say to him, you know, you need to be keeping up with Ollie Behrman. So I think if a driver was to leave, Yuki would be in prime position to take over. So maybe my take isn't quite so wild as you first thought it would be.
It's still a pretty wild take. It
Yeah.
may not be as wild
Let's see.
as Nate Saunders, but Molly Hudson, thank you so much for doing this with us. Pleased to be joined by Ed Straw from the race. Ed, we are just a few days away from the Australian Grand Prix. What is your wildest take for the 2026 F1 season?
I think a wild take because of what it's going to mean on track. Mercedes are strong, Red Bull are strong. I think we're going to see some George Russell, Max Verstappen fireworks, including at least one really controversial collision.
Okay, controversial collision. Where do you see that happening and when?
For these, you need things to ramp up a bit. You need a few little irritating moments and for it to gradually build. So I'd say kind of around mid-season sort of time is where we'll start to see it. Maybe Silverstone. That's been a good place for a controversial collision in the past.
Ed, that is a wild take. It's not as close as Nate Saunders, Fernando Alonso take. However, I like it. You're moving into second.